Hi, everybody. Angel here, and I hope you're doing great. And today I am super excited to speak with Dhivyesh, and we will get started very soon. We're going to talk about his plant-based vegan journey, any challenges and changes he experienced along the way, and his copywriting expertise, as well as his podcast. So we will get started very soon. Page at the bottom. Also, you can follow me. Tap the links in my bio. Check out what I got going on my website, etc. Hi, Dhivyesh. How are you?
Yeah. Hi, Angel. How are you?
I'm
How's the
doing
day?
great. And you?
Yeah, the day is almost
Nice.
over. The evening was a bit gloomy with some downpour. So the climate is good here. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for taking the time. I know everybody is super busy, and I want everybody to know. Well, first of all, thanks to everybody who's joining here. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm speaking with Dhivyesh, vegan, and I want to say that I met Dhivyesh through the Vegan Business Tribe. So shout out to them and all the members and the founders, and we're getting hearts already. So this is good. This is a good sign. Love it,
That's a
love it. So Dhivyesh, we have a lot to talk about. So if you're okay with that, I'm just gonna jump right in.
Sure. Yeah, we can go.
Fantastic. So Dhivyesh, my first question to you is, how did you start your plant-based vegan journey, and how did you end up to where you are today, please?
Yeah, it was not a short one, but it was not a long one either. When I when that spark came in me, that change was instant. But to make that spark, it took some time. So in the early stages of 2022, like Jan, Feb, first got introduced to the word vegan. I didn't even know about the word, so surprisingly somehow.
Yeah.
So then I got introduced to the word through a eco-friendly traveler. So usually travelers are like pop music, pop music. They have like background. You leave this world behind. So like they're high-pitched music, but she was different. She was like serene music. You would flow with her content. So I was following her for that reason. Travel, and she was an eco-friendly person. I thought I was an eco-friendly person. Yeah, I just thought that. But one day she went to Robinson Crusoe Islands in Southern America. So after that, she had posted like the locations. It was beautiful. Then she mentioned one day like 70% of the island is like destroyed because of deforestation, and it is due to animal agriculture. So I was like shocked. I didn't even understand like how is this even possible. And that time I didn't even want to explore because I was eating non-veg at that time, and I didn't want to prove myself guilty. But then after a few months, in like June, I had a dental extraction, and I wasn't eating anything. So that guilty factor was gone. And I again saw her post. She made a story similar to that, but this time in a whole ethical way, not eco reasons. So she made an ethical way, and she had introduced Seb Alex, animal rights activist.
Yes,
So in
yes.
that post, yeah. So he's an amazing person. So I checked through his profile. Like each reasons, like you want to check it, why dairy, why this thing, why that thing, like everything. So then I watched like Earthlings and the Game Changers, and like that change was within a day. I looked at everything that one day, and I changed next week.
You
So
you
that's
got you got hit you got hit hard,
yeah,
but in a good
definitely,
way.
definitely a good way. Best.
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, I can relate to you in some of what you said because and first of all, I want to thank you for being honest and transparent because you admitted that you resisted, and I think a lot of people can relate to that um, because we get so attached to the standard diet or a vegetarian diet or a pescatarian diet or whatever we're doing, right? um,
Yeah.
and I really want to applaud you for like being open to all of these little knocks at your door that you were receiving. And when I was, a teenager, I thought I was an environmentalist. I thought I was eco-friendly. Well, of course, I didn't know about, the animal situation that makes everything totally upside down. And I can really understand too, like, not knowing about veganism. I didn't know about veganism until 5 years ago, or maybe I'd heard about it, but it didn't really resonate. I don't really know. I mean, I was in my whole, vegetarian, pescatarian world for over 20 years, and I really didn't know any vegans. I didn't even know about, the details of veganism. Again, I might have heard about it, but I maybe just like, something just kind of flying over in the sky. But yeah, I really didn't make an impact on me. And I can also relate to what you said about those powerful documentaries. And I want to applaud you for watching them, because a lot of people can't even watch them. And a lot of people refuse to watch them because they feel like once they know, once you know, you
Yeah.
cannot unknow.
Okay.
Like once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
And Seb, shout out to this person you followed, and all the good work she's doing. And what I think is cool, well, what I think is helpful is, she comes at it from like maybe from an eco-environmental perspective, which some people can relate to better than the animal veganism perspective, because some people have told me they don't have feelings for animals. They don't feel a connection to animals. And shout out to Seb Alex. He is super powerful as well. And those documentaries, I mean, really, I know for me as well, once I started to see those documentaries, and once I started to observe the animals in the animal sanctuaries, which I highly recommend everybody do, go and follow the sanctuaries if you cannot visit them personally, which I know was challenging in the last couple of years, but a lot of them are opening again, and if you're able, anyway. But once I got to like understand the animals through these documentaries and through these sanctuaries, it was like, no, I can't turn back.
Yeah, like we don't need to even watch slaughter videos. Even if you watch sanctuary videos, that's more than enough. Like we just need to know they have a character, they have personalities. It's like a sheep can play football, a cow can play catch and catch. Yeah, we know that when we watch sanctuary videos.
Exactly. It's like little dogs and cats and bunnies, and like why do we protect those animals and we don't protect, like you said, the cows, the sheep, the goats, the pigs, the chickens, etc. So yeah, thank you for kind of taking us through your journey. So I want to ask you if you experienced any changes along your journey, and if so, what were some of those changes?
You mean like physical changes in my body?
Any changes?
Uh, yeah, like how to say. We can go from this from a biological perspective also, even from a like mental perspective also. So after I like left meat and stuff, my cravings like automatically reduced. It's not exactly about mindset; it's the fungi in the stomach
Yeah.
that process also even know it better. So those things reduced, and my cravings also reduced automatically for sweets, and even for sweets or non-veg. Like I didn't even want to like go after that. It was just gone, and and especially since was in the stage of dental extraction, I didn't eat anything. That helped me actually. So for some others, it might be a bit hard while they're doing a how to say over the night transition. Uh, yeah. Other than that, changes in the mindset. We get a like we're going out of the matrix, right? We're jumping out of the matrix and choosing like this is wrong. I don't want to follow everyone. So you get that rebel mindset, like whenever you see something else that doesn't like resonate with you, and you're just doing it because others are doing it. Like, okay, that is also not right. So that happens. That is another change that. Yeah. So we're ready to jump out of the another matrix again, like that.
I love that. No, thank you for saying that, because it is an awakening, you know, and it's really very, very connected to what you're saying. Like, you know, once we find out that it's not true that we need to consume animals for our diet in our lives, that once we learn that, we're like, well, what else is out there that, you know, they're telling us that is really not true either, you know? And it's like, well, then we start diving deep into these other holes, and it's like, but that is not really true either, you know? And so it's like an awakening, and like I don't know, I can really relate to that. And then you just start to like figure out, yeah, no, you can't really believe everything you see in the media, and in, you know, or what, you know, what your family tells you, or what your friends tell you, you know, because they might be in the matrix too.
Yeah. Literally everything is like, but sometimes it feels like it's extreme, but that is the truth. So truth is never extreme. So yeah.
Oh, I like that. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining, either live on the replay. If you have any questions, please put your questions down below for Dhivyesh, and he'll be happy to answer. And so, Dhivyesh, were there any challenges for you along the way?
So during the transition, I didn't feel any like health challenges. It was perfectly all right. I didn't feel anything on that side. Uh, Family, like I received family support. Like they understood when I told them. They even keep asking me sometimes even now, but they don't like bug me. They just ask me sometimes. That's it. Uh, but the major challenge I faced was like one thing when I went out, it was a bit difficult while I was traveling. Uh, I didn't know the options. Like I just in one place I was there. I saw two biscuit bottles. One was like fully brown color and one was like yellowish. So yellowish I thought it's like a butter biscuit. So then the brown one shouldn't be a butter biscuit. That's what I thought. But then when I tasted it, it was like it was butter. I just knew it when I did. But yeah, so traveling, going out, so those things were tough. Like getting accustomed to non-vegan food and identifying non-vegan food. And other challenge is that it's very tough to socialize. Like none of my friends are vegans, so if I call my friends out, like, and if I say to them, let's go out, so I would be making them eating non-veg because I'm calling them. So I would be contributing to that. So because of that, only when someone asks me, like, I go, that is a challenge even now. So yeah, sort of things.
Yeah, I can relate. I'm actually facing this dilemma right now, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, how to do this. It's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. And you just brought up something that I honestly had not thought about. And that is the following. Let's say you're gonna be with some people, and they're consuming animal based and you're consuming plant based. It's like, well, are you encouraging them to eat animals? Like, you know, like I hadn't even thought of it like that. My thing is more so, you know, I don't want to be around the consumption of animals, and you know, it makes me sad, it makes me upset, and so, you know, and I don't want people asking me, well, I want people to ask me why I'm not eating what they're eating. However, I don't want to have their resistance and their conflict that comes up, you know, although I know that's all a part of it. Yeah, and the travel thing and eating out can be challenging. I remember at the beginning, I mean, I would just like eat French fries, or you know, a salad, or a fruit plate, or, you know, I would like, you know, ask for sides. So like a side of, let's say a side of spinach with no butter, or a side of, you know, like a potato with no butter, like that. Like I would just put together little sides to make up a meal, because yeah, it can be challenging for sure. So, but
Yeah,
if anyone, go ahead.
yeah, like I was in a buffet in a hotel, so like I saw the dishes, like all of them, it's like dairy allergen, dairy allergen, dairy allergen, dairy. Then why the hell do you have dairy allergen? You could just say everything is dairy. No options, like no option was there. So I just ate rice and some liquid or something, poured it, ate. So like literally like less options.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's tough.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But for me, it's worth it. I remember, honestly, I remember my first trip through an airport when I had decided that was it, no more exceptions, no more, choosing comfort for myself. I ended up eating a bagel that was obviously, generally bagels are like water and flour and salt. And I just told myself, well, Angel, you have made this decision and you're going to stick to it, even if it's a boring bagel. No insults to bagels. Bagels are super yummy. But my point is, I ended up just having this plain bagel because I wanted to stick to what I thought was the better option. So it's not always glamorous and it's not always easy or comfortable, but I think once we really like settle into our belief system, then it becomes easier. And it's only temporary, I mean, it's just temporary. And then you go somewhere else and you eat something else at home or somewhere else, so, but thank you for sharing that. And if anyone is looking for like, places to go, and I know that these apps don't cover the entire world, but there are apps like Happy Cow and A Billion, or you can just like, in your search bar on the internet, you can put something like, vegan near me or vegan restaurants near me or something. I mean, I know it's not in every single town and city and village in the world, but at least those two can kind of help along the way. So I want to ask you now, we're going to pivot over to the topic of copywriting. And I want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. And copywriting. Well, how did you become interested in copywriting? And also, what on earth is copywriting and why is it important? Because I personally, for example, when I first heard this, this word, I was like, yeah, I guess I know what it is, but I don't really know what it is. So tell us, please, how you got into it, what on earth it is, and why it's important.
Okay, so why I got into it, it's a bit of a story. Hope it won't take much time. So till the last year of my college, I didn't know what I was going to do in life. I mean, obviously, I thought I was going to go to a job or masters, but I didn't know what my dream was or like what I wanted to do, my goal. So during the pandemic, I got to find that. So it was like Netflix binging. Then I got bored of it. Then I did Coursera binging. Then after that, I didn't want to do anything. So during that time, like I thought a lot. I started working out, and I was I was looking at vlogs. So I was not vegan that time. This happened before that. So I was looking at a lot of travel vlogs that got me interested. So I decided like I'll do masters. I'll get like 30 days off in a year, and I'll travel during that time. That's what I thought. But then I got addicted to adventure travel. I saw this treks, 14-day treks, 30-day treks. Okay, I can't do that with 30 days in a year leave, and it will take me a long time. So then I thought, what other alternative do I have? I saw like freelancer or influencer. I was camera shy at that time. It was like 2 years before. So then okay, freelancer. Then I started researching about freelancing. I started looking at options like content writing, copywriting, and other things as well, like graphic designing, website designing. So yeah, I looked at all the options. I felt like I was writing during the time, not exactly copywriting, but I used to write like prose and small poems and sort of things. So yeah, I thought this would be a good option. Then I started researching into it. Then yeah, then I'll just give the intro about copywriting. It's a lot about psychology and persuasion. So that got me interested. Uh, Marketing and sales is essential for any business. There is no business without marketing and sales, and there is no marketing and sales without copywriting. If you have to sell, like you need words. Even if you're going to vocally sell to a person, you need to have the script. You can't just give an elevator pitch on the go. If you have something written down, perfected, a copywriter can definitely make it better for you. So basically, but many people misuse this as well. I mentioned that. But basically, it's the art of persuasion and selling that should be done in the right way. You should be selling to the people who need it, not just create fake desires and sell it because you want to sell your product. That is the ethical side of marketing and sales. Yeah.
Ooh, Ooh, persuasion and selling to the right people. This is scary. This is scary. So tell us about your copywriting services. What do you offer in that arena, please?
I have a specialization in social media. That's what I've been doing since the start of my career. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Strategy. So worked with many clients on strategy building as well and consultations. So I've done that. Just getting started in the vegan niche, to be frank. I was working in the SaaS niche, Web3 people. So I've successfully made the switch in the past couple of days. I remember mentioning that to you in the meeting, like I'm making the transition. I've made the transition now. So I help people with social media strategy and other types of copies like website copy, landing pages, ad copies. So the logic and principle is same. You have to tell the benefit to a person and make them buy a product which they need. So I'll just mention a psychological factor. Uh, Words have so much power. Like there were many experiments conducted. Like I was doing some research for the work I'm doing now. Uh, for a couple of people, if you stand on a street, if you want to take a survey, if you're a two-person team, just have one person like a few yards in front of you, and have them have a signboard like take the survey, and you can stand like a few miles, few yards back, and if you are taking a survey with another board like please take a survey, there is so much higher chance that they will take a survey just because they have read the word take a survey. That changes their persuades the mind. Okay, let's take a survey today. If you don't have that board, if they come to you for the first time, they'll be like, I'm busy, sort of thing. But if they're like, take a survey and you have it at that distance, double persuasion, like change of mind, yeah, works like that. So psychology, if you think about it, you would do it. There are things like that. Many other analysis as well you can look into.
So you're saying that the psychological power comes in when they can actually also see the words, not just someone speaking the words, but so they're not only hearing the words, they're actually reading the words, and you're saying that's more powerful.
Yeah, any form of information intake can be made. Like hearing is more powerful, but words, of course, words are powerful. We know that. Oration is another level, obviously. Speaking is another, or networking, speaking is a superpower. But next to that is words, which can be taken anywhere to any sort of people in the fastest way possible.
Now, I have been learning on my journey in this whole social world. Supposedly, people like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, or have you also found that is effective? That people need to be told what to do?
Yeah, actually, people need to be told, like, just the simple fact that if you don't say, just it is the reason YouTubers say like, share, and subscribe. If they don't say it, people forget it. Even if they love the video, they'll be in that euphoria of like, oh, I love this video, and they'll be, oh, happy, another video. They'll just forget it. You have to mention like, please like the video, subscribe the video, and if you're making an offer, like, let's say you're coaching, right? So if you don't make the offer, they'll be like, okay, awesome information. I'll add that to my to-do list. That's it. So, but if you make the offer, okay, there is a person help me out. They'll not add it to to-do list, but some another list, I guess. They only if you're making only if they're facing the problem at present, they would choose your offer. But when you don't mention it at all, they'll just skip by. You need to tell people like what to do. That is more clear. Just not because they don't like it or they won't value it. It's just because social media is distractive and media is distractive.
Yeah, I mean, because what I'm hearing too is like we have to cut through the noise. Like there's so much noise out there. So if everyone's blowing in the wind and they don't know which direction to take, by telling them what to do, at least you're giving them a direction to take. That's what I'm picking up from what you're laying down here, and that's how I see it as well.
Yeah, we need to have that mindset. Like, if we don't tell them that we can give them the solution, they're going to keep suffering. So, by not telling them our offer, we might feel like we'll be a bit salesy, but if we don't tell that, they'll be suffering with that same problem. So we're just saving them. So we need to mention that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you for saying that. I want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Please put your questions and comments down below for Dhivyesh. He'll be happy to answer while we wait. Dhivyesh, I see you have a podcast. You are a podcast host. And would you be willing to share with us, please, what is the mission of your podcast, the content, the frequency, where to find it? What do people need to know about your podcast?
Okay, that's in the building stages actually. I started it as an Instagram podcast. I did my first interview, and just after like 3 or 4 days after that, I got into like this transition phase. I got the opportunity to transition to vegan niche, I mean ethical niche, and so I had to like stop it for a while. So the main reason I started it was like initially I thought of it as an experiment, but when I did my first podcast with a person, like it was so inspiring. Like each person inspires you in some sort of way. You have interviewed a lot of people, you might know that. So when we get to know their experience, like we might get like some inspiration, some trigger in some sort of way that okay, let's take some action today or some things like that. So it feels good in that way, and getting to know people and connecting with them as well. Yeah, that's how I see it. I don't have a long-term goal, but I just see it as a way of connecting with awesome people by calling them for a podcast and getting to know me.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful though, because we don't always have to have some like, lofty goal, some, like super, I don't know, sophisticated goal. I personally, when I started, talking to people in 2020, it was because the world was upside down and I couldn't travel. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh. People started to, do a lot of Instagram lives. And I was like, I guess I'll do that too. I mean, I can't travel, I'm living by myself. I might as well talk to people on my phone. So, that's how I started. So I can definitely understand that.
Yeah, like when we do something without a goal, we love the process more. Like when there is no end goal attached to it, we start loving the goal if there is a goal. So that is a
Right. I mean, yeah, of course, afterwards, the goal was then to reach more people, to, be able to, help more people along my journey, along their journey, and, getting to know people from all over the world. I mean, look at you, you're on the other side of the world, just to, just make that human connection in this digital virtual world that we live in. So I can totally understand like why, how you started, and you don't have this like super duper, some kind of, I don't know, sophisticated or whatever you want to call it kind of a goal. I mean, I actually applaud you for stepping into that world and, doing it because you want to do it. I mean, that's a good enough reason to me. That's why I started it.
Yeah, that's basically it. No goals for now.
Yeah.
Just want to connect.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Dhivyesh, if there are any future products, offerings, services, or projects, anything you want to share at this time?
I'm not offering any products for now. I'm a service-based business currently. I'll be revamping my profile and stuff. I just bought a domain, so I'll be doing some revamp stuff. Yeah, I'm currently working with one client, so I have the space to take up another client. So that is my offer at present. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I can help with social media copies or website copies, landing pages, ad copies, or strategies. Yeah, that's how I can help you out.
Fantastic. And what are the best ways for people to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments, etc.?
Yeah, they can reach out to me via Instagram itself or through my mail ID. But yeah, Instagram works. I check it out every day. At least if not for Instagram, I check it out for research at least. So yeah, you can reach out to me on Instagram. That would be perfect.
Sorry?
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, Dhivyesh, I want to thank you so much for coming on. And before I ask you to wrap this up and put a bow on it, I want to just thank everybody as well who joined, either live or on the replay. And I'm going to ask you now, Dhivyesh, to wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please, with any final thoughts you may have. Thank you.
Okay. Final thoughts. Okay, what do I say? Which topic?
Anything, anything.
Uh, yeah, guys, like if you're trying to find support being a new vegan or pre-vegan, like try to find people online. People are like more, how to say, approachable and hospitable than you think. Uh, People are like very welcoming. So you can just reach out to any random vegan or join groups and message them if they're okay with that. Like don't bench message them. Just send them one message, and if they reply, you can talk to them. And in groups, that would be better. Like you can connect with people in the groups that you have a common point. You can mention that and just talk to them. If you're facing like social issues like we are, so you can use that as a tool. And going out, yeah, it can be a problem. We'll just hope that changes soon. Yeah.
Thank you. No, that was beautiful. I actually created a blog on some of the groups that people can join. There are tons and tons of groups over on Facebook, for example. So if anybody's looking for different groups that you might want to join, you can go hop on over to my website. I have a blog there, a blog post there with that, and also a page on my website about traveling as a vegan. So I have some links on there as well. But thank you for saying that, because what you're giving people are solutions. I have seen over and over, people are like, they don't know what to do. They don't even know where to start. They're lost. They don't even know like what is vegan, what is not vegan, in terms of food, in terms of travel, in terms of transportation, entertainment, clothing, etc. When I first called myself vegan, I didn't even realize that veganism included like clothing and skincare. I had to learn that. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to like watch out for that too. I didn't even realize like silk was not vegan. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought about that. So, there's so much to think about, if we really want to.
Shampoos, soaps, everything. Yeah, animal tested. I got to know about like 8 months after I turned vegan. Yeah.
Exactly. So, luckily for me, I like to read labels. And when I was reading labels, like on beauty products, I started to see vegan and cruelty-free. I was like, what? You mean this applies to like beauty care too? And I just was like, just diving deep on that. It's like, oh yeah, I got to figure this out. Yeah.
Even we might not know many things even now.
Right. And that's a good point too, because I want to say, like, apparently even products, foods that are labeled plant-based may not be vegan, because plant-based still allows that permission to include some dairy, some eggs, etc., etc. So, I personally go straight for vegan. I'm not even like bothered with something that says plant-based unless I read the label super duper carefully. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting journey.
Definitely.
So, Dhivyesh, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I am going to save this to Instagram Live and my stories, and then I will put it up on YouTube in the next few days, so everybody can go over there. And I invite you to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, go follow Dhivyesh, go follow me, and thank you for the hearts. And thanks for everybody who joined. So with that, I'm just going to say have a beautiful rest of your day, Dhivyesh, and everybody else. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you for the opportunity. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the day.
You too.